All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sooner or Later podcast. I feel like this is like really high up. I don't know what's going on. But for episode 116, we're talking Hellraiser 2022. Hellraiser is directed by David Bruckner, screenplay by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski. Story by David S. Goyer, Ben Collins, and Luke Piotrowski. Based on The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. Cinematography by Eli Bourne, edited by David Marks, music by Ben Lovett, production companies are Spyglass Media Group and Phantom 4 Films, distributed by Disney Platform Distribution, with a release date of September 28, 2022 at Fantastic Fest, and a runtime of 120 minutes. Hellraiser has brought in $0 at the box office because Hulu doesn't believe in anything. Hellraiser is currently sitting at a nice 69% on Rotten Tomatoes with 100 reviews and a 64% by 64% audience score for 500 plus ratings. But the only thing that matters is what the three of us think about Hellraiser. And you know what? You're going to get our spoiler-free review that's going to be 10 minutes long and go. You guys have never seen any Hellraiser movies, have you?
I've never seen any of the Hellraiser movies.
I've seen the first one, and I've seen bits and pieces of like one other one that I couldn't tell you which one it was because there's like 9
If you tell me
movies.
if you tell me what happens in it, I'm sure I can tell you.
I mean, it's the same shit. They go into that
Is this
world.
a reboot?
No,
there's
it's
like
not a
3
reboot. I looked it up. This
re-
takes place in the same universe, apparently. But it is a different Pinhead because this Pinhead is a lady.
She's a lady.
And the way that the puzzle boxes work is different. And I'll explain a little bit more in spoilers because I don't want to spoil it.
This is like the same mechanic, or I guess not same mechanic, but
like the same
lore
yeah,
shit.
Well, it's kind of different because of the way the puzzle box works because it's different.
Okay.
But it is like, I mean, this is a Hellraiser movie. This is what every sequel should have been like. This movie is exactly what I've wanted after the first Hellraiser. This is what I've always wanted. This movie was so good as a sequel.
I want more of this.
Dude, I mean, look, you need 2 things to be a Hellraiser movie, or a handful of things, but 2 major ones. It needs to be gory, the Cenobites need to look weird, and it needs to be horny. And this movie's got both. Cenobites are gory.
Was horny enough, dude.
So I would argue that both of the things they just didn't do enough. They were scared. They were like, oh, I don't know, we still don't know how Prey's gonna do, and we're the next fucking Hulu movie that's a Hulu original. Maybe we should tone it down a bit.
I guess that's true. They did have like a big movie before them.
It should have been gorier and hornier because the first movie is gory and it's horny. So
I mean, they got the rated R, so like, why not, right? Why not go all out?
that's what I would think, but I think because it's on Hulu though, and like there's more eyes on it, and like internationally, it's on Disney Plus. It's like not on Hulu, I think. So,
but the thing too is like you're almost better off playing it safe because of how bad like the other ones have, and then like wasn't the last one a soft reboot or was it a reboot?
No, it was a reboot. It was like a hard reboot
because it has a different Pinhead.
Yeah,
and the thing with this where it's like, oh, this feels more like, oh, it's almost like an origin movie, and I think they're like, okay, let's try to reintroduce a new fan base into this
Wait, you're
world.
saying this is an origin movie?
I mean, it kind of feels like it. I mean, it's not an act.
No,
like
all of the sequels do this. They explain it in every sequel. Like somebody walks you through what the lament configuration is, that it's a puzzle box that needs to be solved. Like all of the movies do that. So
see, like I've literally only seen 1.5, so I'll take your word for it. But
I mean, you
like,
have to.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what it feels like, and we don't know where they're gonna go from here or not. But like this one feels like, oh, I feel like they're just it just feels like origin-y to me. Like if you told me this was like a total reboot, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, it feels like it.
But like,
so like I don't hit it as hard on things because I feel like they are trying to reintroduce the characters to people.
No, in the past, it's like actually giving you an origin of everything. So the third or fourth movie is like literally they give you the origin of the puzzle box, and they tell you who created
it's like
it.
Jumanji, right?
Kind
This
of.
puzzle box
You know what?
finds new
Fuck it.
people
We
every
can
time.
spoil the original series because it doesn't matter. So like the lament configuration was created by a toy maker in the early 1800s as like a commission from some sadistic fuck who knew that
Makes sense.
this puzzle box could open up the gate between heaven or earth and hell, right? So this toy maker made the box, and then the dude solved it, and then that's what opened up the portal, and then his bloodline is cursed throughout all of history. So what has to happen is somebody in that bloodline has to use the lament configuration to kill the Cenobites. That's like a quick history of it in the original series. So,
and the Cenobites are the people.
Right. So the Cenobites are like they're like almost a cult that
Pleasure demons.
Yeah. So what their whole thing is that they're searching for pleasure, and they've experienced all earthly pleasures. So the only thing now is to go beyond earthly pleasures. But in hell, pain is pleasure. So they've kind of evolved to enjoy the pain and enjoy the pain of others.
They enjoy it.
Yeah, they do.
Some of them was pretty wild looking, dude. Not gonna lie.
So a lot of them actually borrow design stuff from the original series, which is really cool. Like the Chatter, I think his name is like Chatterbox or something. He's from the original series. So it was like cool to see some of them come back. It kind of sucked not seeing other Cenobites come back, but I think all the Cenobites look scary as shit. They look so good in this movie.
Yeah, I think the effects, I'm assuming it's all practical effects, all makeup design, like the people at least.
No, not all of them.
I don't know if
There were a couple
Cenobites.
Cenobites. Oh, no, Pinhead is pretty practical. There were some other ones though that did some things that we'll talk about in spoilers. Gotta be CGI. 100% have to be CGI.
Something about Pinhead was throwing me off.
I don't know. Like I think it is a good mix. So if it is,
it is a good mix for sure.
Like I think like nothing was taking me out of the film when like they were doing shit, the Cenobites, which can happen easily in like a movie like this where you have such weird like configurations of people, because like it's already gonna look weird to the eye because it's not like a normal looking person. Like,
but it's supposed to be off-putting though. It doesn't ever feel normal looking at them. They're all very off-putting. Like with all the skin being pulled back and shit like that, none of them are like pleasant to look at.
But like I've seen some of it and seen like some of the characters. I think like to me when I say like they look like they were supposed to, like they look like in the franchise they look like they're supposed to. So like I was like, oh okay, none of these look kind of stupid. Because like
none of them look
stupid. You can make
stupid.
these look stupid easily.
I did a wiki of like the old ones and I was like, oh man.
Well, but you got to remember when they came out.
Yeah, that's why they look like that.
But like in the first movie, all the Cenobites look good. They start to look really fucking gross later on in the series.
It's probably the later ones that I was looking at.
Yeah, because the budget's lower and like they're not bringing in a ton of money anyway, so they don't get like a ton of money to put into the production.
Probably straight to DVD, like most of those.
After the third one, I think they all were straight to DVD.
Shit, though,
go ahead.
Was the music, man? Like the
music.
I don't know like what sound they were making, but there's like this one sound that really got me. It was like the it was kind of like some like the
throat singers, the Tibetan throat singers.
It was something else.
You're talking about whenever the Cenobites were like grabbing people.
Yeah.
I think too, like some of the aesthetic is better on this than the originals. Like,
but that totally comes back to when they were made, though, because
like
those old ones are products of their time.
Yeah, like the black leather thing, like got, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, like, but now like kind of going away from that, I think looks better.
Yeah, so their designs are cool. I actually was thinking about it a lot while I was watching the movie. The way that they wear their flesh-like clothes, I think looks scary as shit. Because the original Pinhead is just a leather daddy with fucking acupuncture needles in his head. That's all it is.
It's like they pretty much had these characters and then they threw leather on them. And like that's what it was.
Like,
so like you can see a lot of it.
Yeah.
The faces were just more grotesque. But in this you had the faces be grotesque and the bodies
and the whole ass body.
Cool.
And they like cut out like specific patterns in their bodies, like they were tattoos and stuff. Like it was cool.
So really quick, this was a world premiere at Fantastic Fest, and it was a hidden drop. So nobody knew what they were going to go in and see, and then Hellraiser started playing. I watched Chris Stuckman's review on it just because I know he doesn't do spoilers. And yeah, he was talking about it that he just went in and hoped that it was going to be good, and then it was this Hellraiser movie. Man, I would have nutted. I would have been like, oh
Yeah,
my
so that must have been a
God!
cool fucking thing.
Yeah. But apparently,
I
like everybody liked it there.
I like the tone of it, and I like the actress they have. I think
The final girl or the one who played the priestess?
the final girl, because
Okay.
I've seen her in like another Netflix show, and she plays like she does like chaotic well, like, and she does chaotic in that show as well. But the thing is, where it's like in the beginning of it, I think it's real strong, and then at certain points, it just gets a little too much. I feel, but like overall, I think
Her
they actually
acting or the movie?
yeah, her
Okay.
acting, and I think that in general, the acting in this was way better than I had anticipated.
It's like way better than 70% of the other fucking movies.
Yeah, there's no way, like, and some of the actors they have in it, it's just like, oh, okay, I at least know some of these people.
Right.
I thought it was
I
gonna be
didn't
all
know
like,
anybody.
Oh, really? Have you never seen 13 Reasons Why?
No.
oh, okay. So like the brother and the sister are the main two people I knew from other properties. So I was like, oh, okay, I have some
Okay.
attachment to people.
I only really knew him. I didn't know her, but she's great. Yeah, but all the acting is good. I think everybody does their role perfectly. Everybody
it's
from
so
the
much
Cenobites to
better.
the humans. Yeah. Well, no,
I think
nobody
it's so
is.
much better than you would think going into this.
Yeah, but the original Pinhead, man, that man had some gravitas to him. So,
I mean,
shit,
yeah.
timer's up. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our 10-minute spoiler-free review of Hulu's Hellraiser. If you'd like to watch our spoiler full review, go ahead and click that button in the top right-hand corner where it says spoilers here. And you'll find out about how we feel about this gory, horny masterpiece. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Spoilers. So, we're going to talk about the big differences because I'm sure you guys might have questions about it. In the original series, the box itself was called the Lament Configuration. That's what it was called. So it had two names. The Lament Configuration or the Box of Sorrows is what they call it, like a nickname. And you learn about that like in Bloodlines, which is the Hellraiser that kind of explains the lore. That's kind
Is
of
that
like
Voight's bloodline or nah? Or was that just some random
no. This dude is just a random piece of shit guy.
Okay.
So one of the main antagonists of this movie, he's just some wild ass dude who did fucked up shit. But that kind of plays into the themes from the original movie also.
There's a Berkshire, yeah.
What?
Or I guess they were at the Berkshire estate, not necessarily that he's a Berkshire.
Right. But why do they call
Like,
it that?
aren't the Berkshires like the fucking richest people on the planet?
No.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like the secret society of like fucking people.
I don't read that part of Reddit, so I don't know.
I'm not
Am
on
I
that.
thinking of something
I'm
else?
not on that Reddit either.
It was Bill.
I'll take your word for
talked
it.
about it.
I
don't
will
know.
also take your word for it.
I'm taking Bill's word for it. Burrs.
I've never heard of that. And when you look up the Berkshires, you get somewhere in Highland in the United States. Yeah. Berkshire.
I've never heard that. Like, that wasn't gonna like even like when they were talking about this guy.
maybe not.
Nothing outside of this movie was like, oh, this is reference to something else.
Yeah.
I thought this was a guy that had too much money, and what happens is
So what
he
it
thought
is-
they were gods, maybe. Like, does he know they're demons?
So what it is that so in the original film series, people just kind of know about this because they're rich white people who dabble in crazy shit. So essentially what they
satanic shit.
hear is that like this box will give you all of the pleasure you'll ever want is what it is. So in the first movie, the main antagonist other than Pinhead, because I'd argue that the Cenobites are like side antagonists in the first movie and in this movie. That guy has experienced all of Earth's pleasures that he could experience. And so what he does is he solves the Lament Configuration to experience this new pleasure, only to find out that pleasure is pain where these people are from. So anytime people would talk about how, this is a pleasure, they didn't understand that what they meant is that you were going to be tortured to death and for ever or whatever.
This guy 100% thinks the same thing too.
But at the very end, Pinhead says, "Oh no, we got it fucked up. We thought you wanted pleasure, but you wanted power." And he goes, "Oh well, yeah, forehead. I did just want power. I didn't like the pleasure part. I just like feeling powerful." And so and we're in spoilers, so I'm spoiling it. That's why he becomes a Cenobite, is because he got what he wanted. He became all powerful.
So did you guys think that he was gonna become like the main Pinhead from the other franchise? You thought he was gonna be some regular?
No, at first I thought they were just like, and this thought process kind of, still could work, but I think they just make like carbon copies of each of them, kind of, and they just like interchange them out, like because. Or actually, Eric, you can answer a little bit, and then I'll get back into it. I don't know if you guys know. I really like this series.
So they'll make like another Chatterbox.
That's what I thought that they were doing. If they would have peeled his like skin over his eyes, they were just making another Chatterbox, which is cool.
I understand that, yeah. So at first when it's happening, they're doing the transformation. I'm like, oh, is he actually going to be? Because he's bald headed. I mean, they're all bald headed, but that's the way I looked at it. And I was like, oh, he's going to be Pinhead. And then they changed it. So I was like, oh no, he's just another one. So he's probably just replacing the one they lost.
Yeah, because I'm sure, like, clearly the Cenobites can die. Like we saw one die, right? We saw as much. So they probably do just need to keep pumping these bad boys out. Like, oh, okay, there's
New
another one
designs,
dead. Yeah.
But it's not hard for people to be in that situation and be like, hey, I don't want this anymore. Like, I want something different. And then being like, oh, okay, you can be one of us now because, like,
Yeah, I mean, she was dope about it. She was like, oh, no, you can't get rid of it, but you can exchange it for another one of equal or lesser value.
I mean, that one is better.
They still feel pain, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in pain though.
He will still be in pain, but I think he just gets used to it when you're a Cenobite.
I think they like it more though. Like he was that thing kept twisting his
nerve endings. He said these are nerve endings, and what they do is they're putting me in constant pain, but whenever that moves, it puts him in more pain. And so he described it in the movie as they let me get comfortable to the point of almost becoming numb, and then it hurts me again more and more. So it's like
you're never used to it.
It's so good, bro.
Dope.
I love it.
So, like, as I'm watching, I'm like, how did this thing get inside of him? I'm like, did he was that part of the last challenge or whatever?
I thought it was also a configuration that he took in, but
yeah, and then it's like he had to do it himself, the last one, because he had other people doing it, so then he can finally get the wish.
But he didn't even have to. He didn't do anything, which was kind of dope. That he just killed 6 people and was like,
yeah.
Give me. I
mean, he was smart. Like he did it the best way possible. He just didn't expect the outcome to be negative. But that thing shot him through the sky, and he was fucked.
Yeah. So that's one of the big differences between the original series and this series. In the original series, you can't make someone complete the lament configuration if they don't want to. So if you're just
they have to consent,
right? They have to, and that kind of feeds into the horniness, right? Is that the only way that you can receive pleasure is to consent, right? And so if you just if you're sitting there and going, oh, I want to complete this box, like you would then get hell raised. But if someone has a gun to your head and they're like, complete this fucking box, it won't activate. And the Cenobites won't grab you. So that's one of the things.
Did you guys think Boy was going to be alive still?
Who?
The main guy, I guess, the main villain.
I thought he was gone.
I also thought he was gone until he, of course, stabbed a girl, and I was like, "Damn, he's keeping himself alive."
In those fucking hallways.
I didn't even realize that was him. I thought it was one of the Cenobites. Yeah.
Oh, you thought the Cenobite was just
we gotta
keep this going. Yeah, I thought that was just something that he has in him, keeping him alive or whatever. Which I mean, I guess it kind of was because it took the plate.
I mean, that's about. Those are all valid ideas, and that's what's so weird about this. Because in any moment, I think anybody could take certain scenes as different things. Because and it's dark as shit when that happens.
It is dark as shit, yeah.
And he walks all weird, just
he's hunched over, yeah. So one other big difference is that at the end when what the hell's her name? What's the lead character's name? When Riley is like, no, I don't want anything. You keep your prizes. I don't want it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And she says, okay, you've chosen the lament configuration. That's different. Because in the original series, it is the lament configuration. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Real quick, when they said that, I was like, okay, I've heard this before. I don't know what this is referencing, but obviously it's referencing something probably from the beginning of the series. But I was like, oh, okay, because it wasn't on the list or whatever. Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Lament. Lament was not on the list. It was it was knowledge. It was
But I
like
think they all
knowledge.
they had like
love.
a regular word, and then they had like an L word next to it, didn't they?
No, not all of them were. Or no, the L word was the one on the left, and then the translation was the one on the right. So it was like
Yeah.
lore, something, Lazarus, that kind of shit. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
What are the 6?
I'm saying we could probably just pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna scrub through that thing.
Oh, that's a
But
good idea.
the thing was like when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But still, I would take that all day. I don't care. I'll be a sad boy.
Just living
Yeah.
with like the.
As long as I'm not getting ripped apart, you better believe I'll lament, homeboy.
I love how they like, oh no, grief and just
you're gonna be so
taking all the
sad.
pain.
Yeah.
A sad
and
boy.
you're not gonna live forever either. You're gonna live a mediocre life.
And
And I'm like,
full of regret, and it's like I was a drug addict about 12 hours ago, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll take the sadness.
it's like you're giving me back my brother, and he's gonna be all just
Oh,
skinned.
yeah,
like,
you're
what-
right.
No
They
thanks.
they got lament, which is life, lore, knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Lalitorant. What the fuck is that word? Lalitorant, love, liminal, which is sensation, and then Lazarus, which is resurrection.
And then the last one is Leviathan, which is power.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, so the box shape, because that's the first configuration you get it in, is I guess lament. And essentially, if you just choose lament, you just go, I'm not doing it. I don't want this.
nothing happens. You
Yeah.
get your regular life.
And
But you
so
killed
when they
6
said-
people to just stay in square one.
That's still the move, though. You know.
I figure
When
she
when-
leaves the box there, right?
She throws it at
Yeah.
Pinhead, yeah. She's like, I
Yeah.
don't need this shit. What? And throws it. But then, oh man, she looked real sad when she got into that car, though. She might
Well,
go
it's
back.
'cause
She might go grab
the
it.
brother's boyfriend was like, what did you choose, or you chose right, or whatever he said.
Yeah, he says something along the lines of like, did you have to make a choice? And then she goes like, yeah. And then he goes, was it the right one? And then she just goes, and just like doesn't say anything.
But it is like,
Well, yeah,
I-
but like they said, you're gonna live with regret. So instant regret. She was like, damn, fuck. Do I start killing people again? It was kind of cool the
Well-
way I did that.
because like he like the brother's boyfriend is still like, because he even says it early on in the movie where it's like, hey, I told you to stay home. So like,
Dude,
if
he
they
hit
do
her
a
with that. I
sequel-
told you so fucking hard.
yeah,
You
so
fucking
quick too with the
bitch.
quickness.
I love it.
He even
She
was
deserved
like,
it.
I don't like that guy, Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But I thought his acting was really good too, like for a side character. And then even though in the second half of the movie he becomes more of a main character,
The
which I wasn't
boyfriend,
expecting.
or the brother's boyfriend, or her boyfriend?
Yeah, the brother's boyfriend.
Yeah, he was cool.
Her boyfriend's a little bitch, but
He's a straight bitch, not a little
Um,
bitch. He a big bitch.
I don't really care for those type of turns in movies. But it was like, whatever.
It feels cheesy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
It
feels
was a little
forced.
cheesy.
Yeah, and then the way that he like was chasing after the brother's boyfriend, he's like, "Oh, come on, bro, you're dead already. Come on,
Just
what are you
come
doing?
on."
Yeah, stop running."
That's one thing where I'm like, oh, I really don't like this, because like a lot of bad movies do this.
Yeah,
Like you didn't need it. Like,
but he was
it could-
outshined by Riley, which was nice. Like I
Yeah.
could overlook this shitty character because she and like Pinhead and Riley were so good that I was like, all right, fine, I'll forget about that guy. I'll act like that never happened.
Yeah, but like they do the stupid things too, where it's like they're like, "Oh, you're awake," and it's like, "Okay, we're doing that." Like I get it. Like he shouldn't be awake,
Yeah.
but he's the inside guy. So like but outside of that, I was like, oh, "Okay, the ending has been pretty solid." And then the way it ends, though, I'm like, "Are they aliens?"
He just
The
gets. Yeah, at first I was
Cenobites?
like, what's going
Nah,
on here?
dog,
But then I
they-
was like,
They've ascended to a new plane of existence. So
but I get how
Go ahead.
someone can confuse them as like, oh, heaven, because like they come from the sky.
Well, they do
As-
see
as
themselves
angels.
almost like angels, though.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, this is peak shit, bro. You're gonna peak right now.
yeah,
I
like
gotta rip your
themselves,
skin
they-
off.
Yeah, like themselves call themselves like angels, right? Or not angels, but like
Well, she's a
they think of
priest.
themselves as
She's literally called like she's a priestess. or whatever.
Yeah, they say it in
yeah.
line where he's like, "I got your priestess and I got your something else."
And I
Like,
have your disciples. I have your disciples
Okay.
and I have your priests. What will you do now? And he's like talking shit to the Leviathan or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's familiar.
I mean, that
face.
dude smited him from the sky. I wouldn't be talking shit to
Smoked
him
the
at all.
fuck out his ass, dude.
Dude, mid chest too. Like, and it was super dope though. Like, I liked it. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but
This
the
movie's
scene where
rad.
his
We didn't give the
where
thumbs
his-
up. It was
Oh,
rad.
we didn't.
Go ahead. It doesn't
fuck.
matter.
I'm talking about a specific scene where
I like
his
that one.
body
When he
starts
gets his
coming back together. I was like, oh, this looks pretty
Oh,
good.
that
for
looked
Dude,
next,
that,
for
fucking
that
movies.
shit
sick.
was awesome.
So
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be terrible, but it looked great.
So that's the difference between this movie and the first movie, though. In the original Hellraiser, you would have seen it. You would have had like chest shot, and you would have seen all the pieces kind of like falling out of his chest, right? Whereas this, it kind of cut away, and you just saw it falling. And then, of course, you saw like the CGI closing, but like they could have done that practically, and it would have looked just a little bit better. Because in the original one, there's a scene where like the main bad guy is like reforming, so he's like growing his bones and his blood back. And what they did was they melted like a wax figure down and then played it in reverse, so it looked like he was regenerating. And it is straight fucking fire. Like, if you love practical effects, that effect is straight fire. So it was kind of sad to see them use CGI here. Like, I know it's cheaper and like you can do it and like
faster.
yeah, and it'll look.
See, but I thought it looked good though. Like, I expected like that to look bad in a movie like this. Like, I was like, oh, some of these effects are gonna come off terrible. But like overall, I'm like, you know what? Most of these effects, they're solid.
Most
like,
of them are solid. I just didn't like the way his organs looked. If I'm being real, I was like, these organs kind of look a little shitty. They're a little too shiny. I don't think it would look like that the way the light's hitting it.
Yeah, and I can
can
see that. I understand that, especially like with CGI. Sometimes you're gonna get that shit where it's too shiny.
Yeah.
It didn't really bother me. Because I expected it to just look like dog shit. Is the thing. Like,
well, yeah, I came in with
there's-
really high expectations, though. I was like, this shit better knock my socks off, or else I'm fucking big
I
sad.
also came in with high expectations because of Joey, because you were singing his praises, man. I was like, I'm about to see what the series is all about.
The first Hellraiser is a fucking certified hood classic. Everything after that, don't put my name on shit.
Nah.
Everything after it, but that first one is a straight classic.
That's all those franchises, though.
The first 4 Freddy movies are fire.
I would say Freddy. Hold up.
I
man.
The
don't know the
second
first
half,
4.
no, it is the first 4 are straight fire. The second 4, not fire, and then New
wanna talk about
Nightmare
a series
straight
that has
fire.
shitty fucking movies. Fucking Halloween, man.
Halloween, Friday the 13th, all that follows the same Hellraiser suit.
Friday the 13th might be the worst, but
It is the
I
worst,
haven't
but
watched it. I don't know.
but you're going to Friday the 13th for the schlocky kills. You're going to
No,
see
you
someone
know what's
get...
the shittiest franchise though? It's Leatherface.
Yeah.
Like-
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the ones with the biggest
Oh,
fucking
no.
divides. Those that have the highest highs but the lowest lows.
Yeah. Like the first one is like cinematic gold.
Yeah.
And then at least 6 of them are like 0% Rotten Tomatoes.
So,
Back to
which
back
one's better
trash.
than Joey? This one or the first Hellraiser? Take off your rose-tinted
I'm
glasses.
trying. So I think the first one, the story is more contained. It doesn't feel as frantic, and it's grosser. So like I was saying in the spoiler free, you need 2 things to be a Hellraiser movie. It needs to be horny and it needs to be gory. In the first
Horny, gory.
Yeah. In the first Hellraiser movie, you see someone start to make out with a person with no skin. And you could hear like the squishes, and it's like, yo, this is fucking gross. It's so gross.
Ooh.
But like, and there's gross things in this movie, but like we were talking about, did we talk about it on stream or before the stream? They just didn't go in, you know?
It was before stream.
So
Oh,
like
was it?
they were playing it scared, and they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
They should have just went, you know what? It's a Hellraiser movie. We know people like the horniness, and we know people like the gore. Let's go fucking in on
It
it.
sounds like it's the staple of Hellraiser. It has to
So,
be gory
the-
and horny.
The original Hellraiser came out in 87. It's only an hour and a half, and it has a 70% Rotten Tomatoes and a
movie's tight.
73% by audience.
Yeah, you know,
So,
most
like-
people will say it's a good movie. It's just I love the themes behind it. I love the like sexual nature of it. I think the way that Clive Barker explores that is like, you know, artful. I think that, you know, he is doing some because like they say that love and hate straddles a fine line. That it's two sides of the same coin, right? Because it's like almost the same emotion just flipped. And like that's kind of the thematics of this series, right? Is that, you know, pain and pleasure are real fucking razor thin, and at any moment it could flip. And there's just something about that I really like. And these movies have fucking final girls for most of them, and that shit. Give me a fucking good final girl any day of the fucking week. I don't want an Ash Williams most of the time. I want an Ash Williams for Evil Dead, and that's it. But everything else, I want a badass chick up there whooping ass. So to see her like just throw the lament configuration and be like, fuck you, I'm like, oh,
Dude, when
I
they
love
took
it.
out the Cenobite, I was like, oh shit.
Dude, when she stabbed Chatterer and then they killed him, I was like, oh, it's so good. I would have
They
never
didn't
thought
act
of that.
about their boy at all. They were
No.
just like, oh.
The Pinhead was
sacrifice.
like, I got mine.
See, like the reason, like, and I've only really seen the first one. I haven't seen the rest of them, so I don't really like. I'm not gonna compare the other ones.
They're all bad. I'll do it for you.
The original actor is like just a horror icon. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's one of those things where it's hard to like not give it that, like, it already has like +1 before you even go into like comparing them.
Yeah.
Because the priestess in this, good. I
No.
like her character.
I would argue she's like nipping at the heels of the original Pinhead. She's
But there's like something about
fantastic.
his like his aesthetic, which is very similar, but it's his aesthetic is cool, and then like just his voice, like the actor himself's voice
Has that deep
is,
voice.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's one of those things where it's hard to like reproduce or imitate. Like it's just such a distinct sound, and like it makes you think Hellraiser, like and Pinhead.
But he also had 8 movies to do it, which kind of helps,
Yeah.
right? I hope that they make more of these movies, and I hope that she remains the Pinhead that they choose, because she was kind of fucking scary. Like the way that she felt so empowered in a way that the original Pinhead didn't. Like,
But she's so subtle. Like
Yeah.
her subtlety is like scary.
yeah, and the way that she has this aura of confidence about her is just so fucking frightening. Because she's like, bro, I will always get mine. I'm the priest,
Yeah.
baby. I'm always getting mine. It don't matter who's
What's
doing
the
the
line that they
box.
said? They were like, okay, if not you, then find another one.
Yeah. She stabs her and goes, well, just find someone else, idiot. Because I need
So-
mine. I'm going to get it.
So when they have that first line, when they're like, "Oh, you're chosen" or whatever, because she's the first one to start the box, I was like, "Oh, do they want her to be a part of their group?"
So
Like-
I kind of think that is what it is most of the time, is you're either solving the box because you want the pleasure, so they're just going to tear your ass apart. But they can see when, like, they know when you're a freak like them. You know what I mean?
Your
She's like,
intentions, yeah.
yeah, she's like, oh, you got that freak bone. I want to
They have
see you
that
do
sex
it.
scene like that. Like that's the whole purpose. Like I think when they're having sex, she's like, oh, harder. When she's like, oh, rougher. Like she does like drugs and stuff. And I'm like, she does like pain. Like she
Yeah.
likes, and then she's so like numb in life that she needs some feel of sensation.
Right.
So like,
Mm.
I'm sure they really do like see it in her.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it goes a little back and forth where I'm like, oh, are they just trying to use her because like, she'll do the mission for them, or do they actually want her to be like a Cenobite? Which is
So
where I
it's
was,
a
like,
little bit of
back and
both,
forth about.
right?
Yeah, I think it's both, yeah.
Because you see them tease with the brother, so they're like, no, we're gonna get her. She's either gonna do the box or she's gonna get other people to do the box, and either way we're getting ours. So
Yeah.
they were just giddy that she was all about it right up until the bitter end.
Yeah, I
think
mean, she
still
does her
gets
bogus
haunted.
You think what?
I know they say like, oh yeah, you can live, you're just gonna regret your life. But I think every now and then she's gonna show up in her mirror, the priestess.
Just be like, hey bro, you sure you don't want that box? Because I can get the box.
too long. It's gonna go way too long.
Yeah.
Like, no one's in the house in like years.
So in the original series, apparently there was like 200 lament configurations. These boxes are just fucking out there like candy, bro, and people were just doing them all over the place. So like I don't like, they say that this is in the same universe, so there's probably hella boxes everywhere, but who knows?
So when you guys saw the house, where you guys, this is what I thought. I was like, who did construction on this house? Like,
yeah, I thought that when everything closed, I was like, who the fuck did this man get to pay to do this shit? And nobody talked about it.
Yeah, you know how like when they like build on houses, they have like the little step things on the outside of buildings and like do the construction stuff. I was like, oh, why are they remodeling this house?
Man, that's a lot of scaffolding. Yeah. I love it.
And then you find out it's like a age when he's like you on VPN or like he does that kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought it was crazy the whole time, and then when it finally starts shutting down, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
So, breaking news. I'm getting this from Screen Rant. I didn't find this earlier. This is a reboot, which is why the lore is different. So I really don't know where they're gonna go with this. But some people.
Do you think they're gonna continue?
Bro, I hope so. I really
think it's a one and done.
No, that
it depends on the budget,
dude.
and then how well this is gonna be streamed is the thing. Like if it's low budget but I don't know. Like I haven't really seen some people talking about it. Like, but maybe it's gonna pick up during the next, like throughout this month.
I was gonna say it's the beginning of Halloween season, so like who knows? I hope
it literally just came out.
Yeah, it just dropped.
It does help that it's getting like an international release, though. Like no, it's on streaming.
Is it?
Like the fact that
or you mean just like on streaming? Okay.
Yeah, so streaming wise, like it's on Disney Plus overseas, I'm assuming, or Stars, whatever they do over there.
Yeah.
But it's like they're at least pushing it out somewhat. It's not like it's totally US only. Because if it was US only, this thing would have been dead on arrival.
Yeah, that just means they ain't got no faith in it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was trying to see if they have like a big Hellraiser now streaming like on the Hulu webpage, like on the homepage, but
dude, it's too horny. It's too horny.
I had to go
gory.
down. I was like, okay, where is it? Then it was like, I had to go to like new movies, and I was like, okay,
Damn,
over.
for
It was
real?
like a third one. Yeah,
That's kind of fucked.
but I guess on the Huluween page, it's there. It's featured.
well, that helps.
So
Yeah.
apparently the Cenobites appeared in like multiple novellas by Clive Barker. I wish they were telenovelas. That should be wild. There'd be so much titty and so much pain.
Dude, Hellraiser, like it's kind of funny because they just did a thing with Rick and Morty with like Cenobites and
last
stuff.
season or whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
It
did
looked
they?
good.
Yeah, so those Cenobites though, they were addicted to cringe. Like awkwardness.
Oh, no.
And so they were spoiling last season of fucking Rick and Morty. So they would hang out with Jerry because Jerry was super cringy, and then they would like be moaning or whatever anytime he did something cringe.
So they all crazy looking too.
Yeah.
It was so
Oh
funny.
yeah, they were wild
they were.
looking. Yeah.
They were probably. They also had the leather look, and like one of them had like a TV for an eye or something. It was kind of crazy.
I'm looking it up for you right now, Eric.
Yeah,
Cenobites
they were pretty good though. But like Hellraiser stuff has still been in me, like in just it's still popular. Like there's still at least a cult following for it. Like what I think it was a Robot Chicken or something, where they have Hellraiser in it a bunch. You see, like you can find it like references in like Simpsons and stuff like that. Like it's not like people forgot about it. It just hurt that when they did the last reboot, where they're like, okay, they couldn't get the main actor back, and that's when people thought this was gonna be dead.
I mean, that series did die though, and like finding out that this is a complete reboot, it's like not trying to be a remake or whatever. Like that shit literally killed that original vision of Pinhead altogether. Just threw the bitch away.
And I think that's why they also went with a different, like having the woman do it, because like if they had another man do it, like you're gonna compare him, like, and that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like, you're not. I wasn't really comparing the two in this. I was like, oh, they're two separate characters.
Yeah. And apparently in the original novella, they're androgynous. So you don't even know
Oh.
like whether they're a man or a woman. And I guess at that point they ain't fucking anyways. They're just tearing people apart. So they don't care whether they're
I mean, the
a man or
genitalia is turned inside out.
yeah.
You know?
Well, except for the
like
one.
at that point, you're all women.
There was only one that didn't have it inside out. She had a landing strip and everything in this movie. Everybody else though, their hoo-has are torn up. That shit was sliced
Oh boy!
up.
In the end, they were like showing like subtle shadows of him being naked in his dong.
No. It was almost no. They like started to Ken doll it because you gotta.
Yeah, it was like a mound.
Yeah, it was like full
Yeah, it was
on
just like
because it was it started at his feet and you went right past it. There was no shadows. It was
No.
dick.
I mean, I didn't get a good enough look at it.
See, you wasn't looking. You were on your phone. This movie.
Don't tell me you watch this on your phone.
No,
No, I didn't watch it on my phone.
he watched it while he was watching the football game.
But I didn't find this scary though. Like I don't know how other people feel about it. Like,
Okay, so I watched this at 12 o'clock. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance to scare me. I was a little scared, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's definitely tense. I watched it at 10 a.m. So I didn't give this movie a fair shot, but it was tense.
wow.
There were some moments when I was like, "Oh shit, what's gonna happen here?" I'm a little scared.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I did not like her sneaking into that house, dude. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she just does crazy shit the whole time, and that's kind of the scariest stuff.
I mean, I like that she has like an addict mentality, which is like great because you never know what she's gonna do in the movie.
Yeah,
Like she's just a true wild card,
What?
which
I would
does
say
help.
wild card.
Literally though, yeah. And I watched this movie at like 9:30 at night while I was eating my Chinese food.
you didn't give it a good shot either. Then
You had the boat.
Half the time the light was on, the other half the time the light was off.
oh my god, were people walking by your room and turning the light on and off for you?
No, like I was eating, so I didn't want to eat in the dark.
Oh, see,
Like-
no, you were scared then. It's okay
So
to
the
be
first half,
scared.
and then I wasn't scared at all. So I was like, all right, let me turn the light down. Let's try to get in the mood. But yeah, but like the fact that I wasn't scared didn't take away from the movie because
no, I don't think so
just, like,
either.
I just thought the aesthetic of it was so cool that I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was gonna be like a jump scare, but then I was like, oh, this is a gory scare. I was like, oh, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, gory
I mean, I
scary
feel like
is
it could have
totally
been
different.
more gore though. Like
That's
there
what I'm
was only
saying.
like one good back rip off scene.
Oh my god, look at these guys.
Yeah, that's from the third movie, I think, or fourth movie. There's some fucking clowns out here.
Yeah.
That's the guy with the TV for his eye, actually. That's who they're making
Yeah, it
fun of.
is. Yeah.
But yeah, I think if they make another one, you just turn that gore up a little bit. This was a 5 on the gore. Let's make it an 11.
We need some Marilyn Monroe shots of
Someone being
just
aborted? No, I don't want that.
yeah.
I needed more like body like horror. Like I needed more of it.
So like there was that one, which I'm glad that there are women in BIPOC Cenobites in this movie. I think that's pretty dope. There was the one where like their arms split in
they're,
half.
like, split.
That like
Yeah.
I needed more of that. I wanted people to
That
die.
was crazy looking.
Yeah. Like because we didn't really see a lot of people die from the Cenobites, which is where
No.
most of the gore comes from, right? So like all 6 of the other sacrifices died off screen, and it's like, that's a little whack, don't we think? Don't we think that's a little whack?
And I know it's because they were trying to save money.
Yeah.
But like it just sucks. Like even the brother, the first time, like, okay, I'll give you like the first guy you get the hook things. I'm like, okay, hooks, iconic,
Yeah.
cool, I got it. The brother, I was like, all right, I'm okay to keep it a mystery, sure, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, now we're getting carried away. Like you're barely showing anything.
Yeah.
The old lady we should have saw every single detail. They even hint at it. They do the throat thing, whatever. Like, and they're like, oh, we're gonna show you like true pain. We're gonna show you. We're gonna do every little thing to you. And it's just like we seen none
Save
of those.
your tears. Yeah.
Well, no, they're like save your breath for your last scream
Yeah,
or whatever.
save your breath for the screams. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. They went in and out of her throat. I'm like, that probably wouldn't even hurt that bad. Whatever.
It wouldn't have. It'd have been scary though. It'd have been
It
hella
would have been scary for sure.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing to me?
Ah!
But like only the friend, I guess you would say, is the other girl. Where they tear her like back skin off. Then I was like, ooh, there
I
it
was
is.
like, holy shit.
And that where I was like a little cringy. I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it to me.
But that's what I needed more of. And then I thought, oh boy, was gonna get sliced and diced, but then they save him. So I'm like, oh, come on.
But then you don't even see the other guy get sliced and diced.
no, he falls through a hole.
Yeah, which is whack. The
Yeah.
kills
that
are
is
where this movie falls off. Everything else, storytelling, fine. The acting is great. Kills, not enough.
I love me a good like like what's this object, like, what is this thing,
Yeah.
and like it ends up being like the devil or some shit.
So like, what was the purpose of him falling through that hole thing? Like, what is that? Is that setting up something?
The douchebag.
That's just he went through all the
Doucher?
world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no. It's just because they open up a portal to hell wherever. They'll open it out of your fucking your toilet.
So is that
seat.
what it's saying though? Like that's where he was going? I
Yeah, they
guess?
always, they take him to hell to torture them. They don't let them. They're not going to torture them in the sex
The
dungeon.
Van Hell.
You could have
was the
showed me some
coolest thing.
fire and brimstone. You know? You didn't
No.
just-
Hellraiser hell ain't fire and brimstone. They keep their shit classy.
Man, that thing looked like an empty well. Like Timmy fell down.
It
all
really
right?
did though. Yeah, the car scene was super fucking cool though, Eric. That shit was
Yeah.
straight fire. I was like, this is so
Oh
cool.
yeah, like when it like I liked anytime they changed like the scene when it turns to like the maze boxing or whatever you want to call it. I thought that stuff was always cool.
And
Yeah.
then like the
Like-
blue lights and like just the
Yeah.
sound comes in.
I mean, their
Like-
world, the actual like world the Cenobites are in, that they would take them to is really cool. I just wish we would have got more of it.
Yeah, but they didn't even in the original series they didn't dive too deep into it until later movies. So if they make more, you'll definitely see it. Because there's some special things in the original series where like if you're taken into hell, but you still have a lament configuration and you complete it again in hell, then you're allowed passage back into heaven or into earth.
What?
Yeah. So
So,
like they could
is
do
there
cool
a-
shit like that.
Is there a Hellraiser movie where they go in and then one of the people ends up becoming one of the Cenobites?
Yeah.
And-
So
okay, which one is that? Because that's the one I've seen bits and pieces of.
2, I think.
So
Yeah.
I've definitely seen one. I don't really remember it though. Like I seen the movie like 10 years ago. Like whatever
Yeah.
that one is, I remember more.
The
And
second
not even
one.
10 years ago. It's probably 20 years at this point.
Now I'm trying to look. Now I'm not sure.
This is David Buckner guy, by the way. This is like,
I don't know. You want to look it up?
David Buckner.
I guess he did the Night House.
Oh, right. That's the other reason that I was really excited about this because didn't he? What else did he do besides Night House?
No One Gets Out Alive, and then VHS 94,
VHS 94 is pretty good.
and then Siren.
So he just does like horror?
Yeah, that's what it's
He
looking
did
like.
4 movies. That's it.
Wait, but what did he
Oh.
do? Oh, he was an executive producer on Night
oh,
House.
sorry. Yeah, those are. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
those
he's
are
still pretty
executive
young.
producers.
He's only 45,
No,
44, it says.
He directed Night House.
He only directed 3 movies. Yeah.
Wow, why did they have this shit set up like that?
Yeah, they forgot to turn it into a table.
It's so stupid. Oh wait, he directed The Ritual though. The Ritual slaps. That
I
movie
don't know
is
what that
so
is.
good. It's on Netflix and it's about like it's about hikers who go backpacking to like celebrate. Well, not really celebrate, but like it's like one of their friends dies and he wanted
Mhm.
his ashes spread somewhere in like Sweden or some shit. So
Yeah,
Hey,
makes
that
sense.
movie's scary.
yeah, that movie goes hard. It goes so hard.
Yeah.
Damn, we should kind of watch it if you've never seen it, Eric. It's good.
So I've only watched like the first like 45 minutes of it.
Oh,
Like,
you didn't
and I
even
was
get
like-
to the scary shit though.
No, I was
Ah.
like,
Shit.
hey, this. I was just watching like at night, and I was like, hey, this is scary. I'm not watching this.
We're gonna have to watch it
Hey,
then, since y'all haven't seen
Pause.
it. It goes
No,
hard.
it's good though from what I've seen.
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
It just was like, but this was before I'm a season 4.
right.
Like,
yeah.
person
Now.
now.
You're strong. Now you got armor. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
now, dude. My emo's
Well,
kind of flaky, dude. I don't know.
but like now I've seen enough where it's like, oh, okay, like the little tropes don't get me as easily.
Yeah. You gotta have some shit really be scary.
Left, right, pan over the shoulders.
Yeah, you know if
Yeah.
someone's in front of a fucking bathroom cabinet, like a medicine cabinet, you know some scary shit's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know. I know when they're in the woods. I know when shit's not gonna pop off. I get it.
But like he makes good scary shit though, and it seems like he works with the same writers every time, and they seem to write good scary shit. So like, fuck me up, fam.
I think them putting this too on Hulu really helps it because like I mean, I know like streaming has come a lot like afar. Like they're not what they used to be. They're not like straight to DVD like how people used to consider streaming.
Yeah.
But like you still going into streaming, you give something else like, oh,
Benefit
okay,
of the
it may
doubt
be
for
a
sure.
tad under.
Yeah.
Because like I don't. Maybe I mean I guess if we wanted to say we're gonna watch this in theater, we would have watched it in
I
theaters.
was gonna see it in theaters. Yeah, I can confidently say I would have seen it in
I
theaters.
thought some of these scenes where I was like, dude, this shit blown up on a big screen.
Bro, this movie in IMAX, maybe I would have been like, okay, I don't know if I could have handled the gore in IMAX. Because, like, the original...
Yeah, that one back scene would have got me.
Yeah, because, like, the original, you know, you're watching VHS quality. That gore has to be crazy for it to really shine through. But, like, feeling the seat rumble as they're tearing the other Cenobite apart, I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this. This is a little too much.
Yeah. And I love like how they used to change stuff, like for being so like iconic in the franchise. I like how they didn't overdo it. They used it when they needed to, and that was it.
Yeah,
Like,
it was almost
I
her
thought it was
saying
dope.
like, I'm gonna eat that ass up only when I feel like doing the hard work. I'm gonna let the other ones
100%.
do the hard work. But oh boy, he's the sixth sacrifice. That's mommy's. Mommy gets to eat this one.
Oh, that's her powers?
Yeah, so she controls
She controls the chains?
those hell chains. She can control them psychically. That's part of her power as being the hell priest. Is she can control those. And the other Cenobites have like other powers. Like the one Cenobite we saw control the wires. That's like her thing that she does.
That's worse.
That is way worse, bro. Hook me over fucking cut my hand off any day.
Because it was like, okay, it's like 7, let's say 8 hooks compared to like around my throat, around my whole skin, these little like
these little wires.
Yeah.
Piano wires.
What is? Oh shit! I didn't say the Metacritic.
And he had one that went from super slow to super fast.
Yeah.
He got trapped in the gate.
Yeah, that dude was
like
dipping. They were not expecting him to be that fast.
Like the thing on her.
Shit, I wasn't either though. Yeah,
the bow thing or whatever.
Metacritic is a 56 from reviewers and 5.8 from users.
I think Reddit people were giving it. I think it had like an average score of 6.
I could see it.
People were hyped in the comments, so they're like, "Oh shit, this is what I wanted."
I mean, it is. It definitely, yeah. Like as a fan of the originals, it's like, oh no, this is that shit though. I mean,
it's a very good Hellraiser movie.
It's just like Prey. It is. I think like they literally had to have been talking when they were making both of these movies, because personally, it felt the same way watching Prey felt. I was like, damn, bro, this is that shit though. This is hitting right now.
They knew their audience.
Yeah,
man.
for real. And I mean, I feel like Disney's like, whatever, it's on Hulu. Fucking yeah, make whatever you want, losers.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see like what their future projects are like through Hulu though. But it does seem like they've done a better job understanding the audiences of these franchises they've done recently.
Yeah.
I do think they have a movie that is coming out to theaters soon though, which kind of worries me because it's like, yeah, it's like this model's working. So like,
yeah, but it's not making them as much money.
No.
Especially after people ranted and raved about how much they wanted to go see Prey in theaters. Like, I'm sure they're like, oh, fuck, we got to start fucking releasing these bad boys.
I hope that gets nominated where it can be on, like, you know, like, I don't know if it's going to get nominated for Best Picture, but, like, if it did, I'd go see it.
What?
Prey.
Oh.
Like, in theaters.
You're talking in theaters? Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know what other way it would be released in theaters.
If you rented a theater and then asked them to play it off this thumb drive instead of whatever they got.
But hey, can I log in my Hulu account from here?
Yeah, y'all got that back there, right? I got an HDMI cord. Hey, here, let me plug this Chromecast in. I'll cast it from my phone. It'll be okay.
I really just need to use your projector, honestly.
All right, we're gonna move into questions because we've been at it for an hour. All right, James, what was your favorite part of Hellraiser 2022?
Favorite part.
Someone thought that shit was hilarious.
I mean, it got crazy over there. Hold on, I got thrown off.
You okay?
Come back to me.
Eric, what was your favorite part of Hellraiser 2022?
I liked every time the hell box opened. They're like,
anytime the lament configuration changed.
Yeah,
this shit was fire.
Because every time I'm like, oh, she's about to stab herself. Oh,
dude, yo, she was palming that shit though with a blatant disregard for where that knife might come out. She didn't give a fuck
Every time.
every time. Not that it mattered in the end because she got anyways, but like, damn, bro, chill.
Is it like that in the original franchise? I couldn't remember.
No, you just have to solve it. You don't have to get cut by
Okay.
it, I don't think. But like,
Yeah,
or maybe you do have to spill blood onto it.
because I
But
can't remember.
In
like,
the book, it's
honestly.
even different because like,
You got jism on it in the
yeah, yeah,
100%.
you do.
No.
No, seriously, it is in the book.
was
He talks
joking.
about spilling jism on it, and then like you're stuck in something is like stuck until someone else spills jizz on it or something like that.
Not the
What?
But I haven't read the
jizz,
book, but now I really need to read the book because this has got me hyped. But yeah, I think you do have to spill blood, but it doesn't work in the same way. I don't think. And I have to rewatch the originals now to double check. But
I mean, with this being a reboot, it doesn't really matter anymore. But
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they meet fucking Hellraiser and the Multiverse of Madness, dude. It'd be so
Get the fuck
good.
out of here.
So many chains just coming out of nowhere, fighting with the chains. Oh, I hope it gets there. 13 movies
Scorpion shows
in.
up.
Yeah, get over here. I got pain. All right, James, what was your favorite part of Hellraiser? I gave you time.
Oh.
I don't think he can hear us. He can't hear us. I'll go on then.
No.
I think my favorite part was the acting. All of it. The acting was just so good. Everybody was
Okay, I'm
believable. It felt good. Yeah, it was nice to see a Hellraiser movie made with a bit of art behind it. James, while you were gone, I asked you what your favorite part was.
I actually like the beginning of the movie where they actually like first introduced like the stabbing and like it set the tone early.
Bro,
where it's
they
like,
got
oh, this is
into it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, I didn't know how they're gonna go about this, and then they give you the stab. I'm like, okay, and it transfigures. Like, okay, I see it transfiguring. I see how it gets the blood. They do the chain thing, so you're like, okay, this is Hellraiser, baby. And I think like it just the movie kept going where I was like, oh, okay, I feel like everything meshes. Sometimes a movie will start and it just like it kind of changes tone. I think tonally it was pretty strong throughout.
Yeah.
So like I really like the way it started it out.
I'm posting a funny meme for you guys. I also like that it started with a bang. You were like, damn, we're getting fucking chains right away, dog. Hell yeah.
Oh, damn, we're getting horny.
Yeah.
Damn.
He really was, though. He walked up to that geriatric woman and was like, let's get horny, huh? And she said, let's get horny in the back room, man.
She set him up bogus. Like
Yeah,
he thought
she
he was
did.
just going for a good time. He's like, I guess I gotta get it up for an old lady.
Yeah.
And then boom, they got him up in the sky with chains.
James, what's your least favorite part of Hellraiser?
So when the twist of the guy being working with the main villain guy, it felt heavy handed. It was cheesy, and it kind of took me out the movie a little bit. Where I was like, oh, that's so dumb. You didn't have to do that. Like you just didn't.
Yeah.
Like
Eric, what was your least favorite part?
I don't really know. I don't think I had one. This is my first time being a Hellraiser. Like I don't think I have it. that
Nothing,
many...
no story points that you were like, this is kind of weak. No characters you were like, this is kind of weak.
I thought the third roommate was kind of like the girl. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
She
I
was
was
straight
okay.
fucking cannon fodder, though. She was in there just to get her back torn up.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little weird though every time. Like, and I don't know if I liked it or not. But like when they all got like I don't know if you say like high or drunk or whatever feeling where they all got like disoriented.
Oh, whenever the Cenobites were gonna come for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, you didn't need to do that to them. You already got all these powers. Like, give
Nah,
them a fair-
you got to get a little lit so they don't fight back. I mean, old girl
Yeah.
stabbed the Cenobite because she was not lit. So who
That's
knows?
It's true.
Clearly they could die. I mean, if you had a chainsaw on a motherfucker, that'd be it.
I mean, if you had a bulletproof vest and a Glockomatic,
Yeah.
What
shit.
they needed to do was like in Jeepers Creepers 2, where they should have just put it on a harpoon and just
Yeah.
started going at people.
Shit, or even if you had like the explosive vest from the Hurt Locker, that seems like that stops the Cenobites dead in their track. I think my least favorite part is the lack of gore. I wanted this shit to be nasty, and it was a little nasty, but it wasn't like, oh, this is nasty.
It wasn't like turn your head like.
Bro, yeah, I wanted to see someone's esophagus get ripped out vertically out of their fucking head and played like a banjo or some shit, you know? Like, I wanted some straight nasty shit to happen, and it just did not give it to me.
So like it's tame. And I feel like this movie does a better job of like now if new audiences see it and don't know the lore, I think it's easier to get into.
Yeah.
But as someone who has like knows about Hellraiser and has like seen some of it, even though I'm not like a big Hellraiser person,
Right.
it's just like I was expecting way more, like in
Mhm.
that sense. But if you're someone that doesn't know about Hellraiser, I think it's fine. Like it's a good.
This is a great
introduction.
jumping off point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinema scores. Would we rent it? No.
No.
Nah.
Would we buy this movie physically? No.
No.
Nah.
Would we buy it digitally? No.
Nah.
Would we buy it in the $5 bin at our local establishments? Maybe.
No.
With all 6 of them, or however many?
Everyone with all of them. It's like 12 of them or something now.
All number one.
No, there's 9.
Yeah.
There's 9 of them.
What
I think.
the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, there's a
ridiculous.
lot.
Would we put this on in the background while people are over?
For the visual.
I mean, if there's
sure.
only adults around, sure.
Well, yeah, no. We're not playing this around children, no matter what, in the background or otherwise. Yeah, I don't know who I would play this in the background. If
Like,
you're
Mom, what is that?
oh my god, no, those are pins in her head. I think if you're at a Halloween party, sure.
I mean, this could be a very good festive movie for sure.
Yeah.
But not like I'm not really putting this on in the background.
Yeah, not in a normal setting.
Not in my household.
Would you watch this again?
I do want to watch it one more time because I feel like there's some little details we could still probably pick up on.
I think I would too. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again before the sequel comes out. That will be the only time I think I watch it again. Is like, oh shit, the
So
third
never?
Hellraiser movie's coming out. Shut up. This movie is getting good enough reviews. People are watching it. Eyeballs are on the screen. It's got to come out with a sequel.
It's gonna be like the same reason we watch Prey. It's like the second one's gonna come out. They're gonna have a double feature, and then we're gonna go watch it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then second to last but not least, would you recommend it? Yes.
I would. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, especially this time of year.
I don't know anybody who I wouldn't recommend it to. It's not too sexy to where it's like I wouldn't recommend it to you. It's not too gory that I wouldn't recommend it to you. It's middle of the road enough.
If anybody asked me about this movie, like where they have some kind of interest, for sure, like I'd be like, oh yeah, it's actually good. If you're into Hellraiser,
to your coworkers though?
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. If they ask me about it, yeah, like because that means they know something.
I'm not
Like,
gonna. This
just
isn't gonna be
walk up
top
to
of the
somebody.
list. Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, Jim, you seen the new Hellraiser, bro?" I will not do that. No,
But now if Jim is like, hey, the new Hellraiser, I wonder if it's any good.
I'll be like, "Yeah, it's not bad, homie.
Yeah, exactly.
You should probably peep it if you're
I
curious."
heard it was getting good reviews or something. Yeah, I'll check it out.
This small podcast may have reviewed it. I don't know.
Yeah, check them out. Sooner or later, TV.
Watch that first and then watch it because they spoil
Here's a
it.
business
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sooner or later,
Um,
TV is a sponsor.
Oh, we sponsor ourselves? Hell yeah.
We got to.
I'm opening up the ranking so I can keep it up to date so I don't have to do this shit later. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to scroll to the bottom. Okay, episode 116. Hellraiser 2022. Eric, what do you give Hellraiser
Oh, no.
2022?
What do we have in the 8s?
Oh my god.
I need to know what our higher horror movies are.
I'm not doing all that. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, we
It's
don't
we're already 30 minutes past when I was supposed to end. So I can give you the
no.
8s, but I'm not finding out what we did for all the other horror movies. 8s.
Are there any horrors in 8?
Yes. 8s starting from the top. Oldboy, Dune, Warrior, Wreck, Batman, Sicario, Trading Places, Inglourious Bastards, The Mummy, The Lighthouse, The Farewell, Licorice Pizza, Big Sick, Sandlot, The Conjuring 2, Moneyball, Gladiator, The Exorcist, Pig, Predator, I Saw the Devil, Free Guy, Avatar, The Nice Guys, The Northman, Baby Driver, The Suicide Squad, Chef, Annabelle, Creation, Fighting with My Family, Black Bear, The Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom, and Oldboy again.
That's the 8?
A second Oldboy shouldn't be in
Okay.
there.
That's second show. We should not.
That was the 8s. Yep, those are all of our
That being
8s.
said, Joey, I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, Eric's giving it a 7.5. James, what do you give Hellraiser 2022?
I'm also giving it a 7.5 out of 10. What's weird though is like, because I think it's better than some of those 8 horror movies, but I also don't think it's like an 8 compared to some of those movies that are
Yeah.
in the 8s.
That was my thinking too.
Most of these horror movies, though, Alex had a hand in it. So,
Classic.
yeah, it is the
Grain of
classic.
salt.
It's the fucking razzle dazzle she just gave us. And I know I've been sucking this movie's dick, but
No.
I'm gonna give it 7 chatters out of 10. 7 chatters.
Dude, that was my favorite one.
I
That was
think
your
this
favorite
movie is a
Cenobite?
solid, like high C, almost B though. Like
Yeah.
I really do. Like I can understand someone saying this movie is a 7, middle of the road, and some people like 8 where they just really liked it. I think if you're someone that's into this, like I totally understand like giving it higher.
Yeah, but why 7, Joey?
I wanted to be a little more conservative. The fact that it literally wasn't as sexy or as gory, it really did hurt it. If it was just a little more gore, I'd have given it an 8. But like, I didn't want to half it either. I wanted to give it a 7 or an 8. So if I don't feel strongly enough about it to give it an 8, I'm just gonna give it a 7. That's what I think it deserves. But
I felt like this movie was a 6.5, like a 6 or 6.5. But then the acting was so much better than I expected. I was like, I gave it like a whole 1.5 because I'm like, you know what? Because if this movie had bad acting, this movie is like 5, 6.
No, if this movie had bad acting, it's a fucking 4 or 3.
Yeah, it would have been horrible.
Yeah.
But like I really, and I may be giving too much weight on the acting, like, but I think like the acting was strong. I'll give it a 7.5 easy.
No, the story wasn't great either though. Like I can't give, if it's a bad story, you got to really impress me with the visuals to get an 8. You know what I mean? So like to have the story be a little too bare bones and like not really gripping as much is total 7 for me. But who knows? In 6 months,
it's a good middle of the road movie, though. Like,
yeah,
it's a middle of the road movie, but it's good. Like, it's not bad. Like, it doesn't deserve anything less than like a 60%.
If in 6 months, I may revisit it and be like, damn, that was a straight 8.
But too bad.
But I was also
like, 87 films before you can change it.
No, but I can have it in my head. I was also watching the baby while I was trying to do this, so like I was preoccupied. I couldn't really give it my full attention. So like maybe it was my fault. Maybe I fucked it up. But the only people who are gonna know that are the people who tuned in on twitch.tv/soonerorlatertv or our YouTube channel for our review of Hellraiser 2022. Continue listening and watching and showing your support on all social medias at Sooner or Later TV. If you couldn't catch us live, don't worry. You can listen to us on all podcasting platforms. Just look up Sooner or Later TV. Our episodes are recorded live on Sundays and uploaded every Wednesday afternoon. So tune in next week for our review of some other scary movie. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.